Hey Algebra kids, happy Monday. We are moving on to 7.5, which is factoring special products. So if you go back to chapter 6, probably about midway through the chapter, we talked about perfect square trinomials and difference of two squares and why those were so important to memorize or learn, I should say, those formulas. Well, we're using them now, and we are going to do the opposite now. I'm going to give you a perfect square trinomial and we're going to factor it. And if you know the formulas, you won't really need to do any quote guess and check like you have with other factoring. So first let's focus on perfect square trinomials. The name itself tells you all about it. The first and the last terms are perfect squares. And the middle term is going to be 2 times a times b. That's what this big long sentence is saying here. So if it's a trinomial, it has to have 3 terms. The first and the last one are going to be perfect squares, and the middle term is going to be 2 times a times b. Okay, so this is an example here of a perfect square trinomial. 9x squared is a perfect square because 9 is a perfect square, and so is x squared. And 4 is also a perfect square because 2 times 2 will give you 4. So if you take 2 times one of these guys here and one of these guys here, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, you get your middle term of 12x. So if we recall back to the previous chapter, chapter 6, we started off with something that looked like this, the quantity of a plus b squared. And when we saw this, we knew that the final product would look like this, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Likewise, if you had a subtraction sign in between the a and the b, you'd end up with the same thing, but the middle term would be negative. Now we're going to start off with a trinomial, like what we've had the entire time that we've been working in chapter 7, well, sort of the last few sections anyways. We're going to have a trinomial and we have to determine if it's a perfect square or not. If we can determine that it's a perfect square, we can go straight to our last part right here, which will give us our answer. So let's look at some examples. First, let's determine whether a trinomial is a perfect square or not. If it is, we're going to factor it. If it's not, explain why it's not a perfect square. So, first example, I have 9x squared minus 15x plus 64. I'm going to look at my first term, which is 9x squared. 9x squared is a perfect square because 3x times 3x gives us 9x squared. 64 is also a perfect square because 8 times 8 gives us 64. So we have to keep in mind 3x and 8. Those are the square roots. So we're going to now take 2 times 3x times 8. And if that gives us 15, then we have a perfect square trinomial. It's not going to give us 15, is it? Nope. Because 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 8 is 48. If this middle term would have been 48x, then you would have had a perfect square trinomial. So our answer to this first one is no, because 2 times 3x times 8 does not equal 15x. Okay, so we cannot factor this as a special case. We might be able to factor it other ways, but right now we're just concerned if we can factor it as a special case or not. Okay, next one. 81x squared plus 90x plus 25. 81x squared is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square, so we have to figure out if our middle term is equivalent to 2 times a times b, or in other words, 2 times 9x times 5. And when we do that, we get, oops, I'm going to go backwards. There, we do indeed get 90 as our middle term. 2 times 9 is, or actually you can do this as a little easier. 9 times 5 is 45. 45 times 2 is 90. So we do have a perfect square. Now, to factor that, we have to use the rule, okay? And so we have this trinomial, perfect square trinomial, and what we're going to do, our factored answer, if you look here at my mouse, is a plus b squared. So we're going to take a, which is 9x, and add it to 5x, and then square the whole thing. This is the factored answer. So it's a matter of following the formula. Now, if I were at school and I was writing on the smartboard, I would probably write this right here, this formula, and set it equal to this, because that's really what we're doing. I'd probably put it right in here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another situation here. This is not a perfect square, and this, you don't even have to do quite as much work here. We have 36x squared minus 10x plus 14. We don't have to do quite as much because look at 14. 14 is not a perfect square. So this is no way, shape, or form a perfect square trinomial. You don't even have to mess with the middle term because that 14 is not a perfect square. Okay, we're going to go on to, oh, there's a lot of these. I want to move on to difference of two squares, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, now the special case number 2 that we have is a difference of two squares. So again, if you recall back, we started off in chapter 6, we had a plus b times a minus b. And when you were to FOIL that or know the special case, you would come up with a squared minus b squared. So now we're starting off with a difference of two squares. We're starting off with a squared minus b squared. And when we factor it, we get a plus b times a minus b. I think this one's a lot easier because difference of two squares means it's a difference of two squares. That means there's two numbers, there's a minus sign in between, and they're both perfect squares. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple examples and see if something is a difference of two squares, and if so, we're going to factor it. So I'm looking at my first one, 3p squared minus 9q to the fourth. Guess what? This 3 right here is a dead giveaway. This is not a difference of two squares because that 3 is not a perfect square. Okay, now 9 is, but it doesn't matter. Both of them need to be perfect squares, so this is not a difference of two squares. So you just say no, and you move on. You might be able to factor it, and as a matter of fact, you can use GCF, but we're not going to do that today. Okay, next example, 100x squared minus 4y squared. Yes, this is a difference of two squares. 100 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, y squared is a perfect square, and we have a minus sign in there. So we have a difference of two squares. So when you go to factor those, you have to take the square root of each of them. Okay, so square root of 100x squared is 10x. Square root of 4y squared is 2y. And again, if I was in the classroom, I would write out that whole formula that shows what we're talking about. Like I would write this whole thing out. Okay, and I'd plug in what a and b were. So a is 10x and b is 2y. I'm sorry, yeah, that's correct. A is 10x, and b is 2y. So here is the answer right here. 10x plus 2y times 10x minus 2y. That is the factored answer. Let's look at another one. Okay, x to the fourth minus 25y to the sixth. Yes, this is a difference of two squares. This is a perfect square, and this is a perfect square, and you got a difference in between them, a subtraction sign. So remember the rule back a while ago. I think this was the beginning of chapter 6. If you have an even number exponent, so it doesn't matter if it's a perfect square or not, but as long as it's even, you end up with a perfect square. Okay, so if you take the square root of x to the fourth, you get x squared, if you take the square root of 25y to the 6th, you get 5y cubed. And so therefore you have a perfect square. So your answer is going to be x squared plus 5y to the 3rd and x squared minus 5y to the 3rd. Okay, this right here is your answer. Okay, this one, don't get thrown off because there's no x here. 1 is still a perfect square. Same thing with 4x squared. That is a perfect square. So we can go ahead and go directly to our answer, which would be 1 plus 2x times 1 minus 2x. This is your answer right here. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can go to another example. Or, oops, nope, let me go backwards. Let me go back to that one hard problem there. This one's a little bit tricky because it's got a lot going on. We have p to the 8th minus 49q to the 6th. This is a perfect square, this first term, because it does have an even number for an exponent. This is also a perfect square because square root of 49 is 7, and again, even number. So when we take the square roots of those, p to the 8 is, square root of p to the 8 is p to the 4th, and square root of 49 is 7, and square root of q to the 6th is q to the 3rd. So we can use that to help us with our answer, which is p to the 4th plus 7q cubed times p to the 4th minus 7q cubed. It's a mouthful, tongue twister. Okay, so what you are doing in this section, you are looking through the different problems. You're determining if it's a perfect square trinomial, if it's not a perfect square trinomial, and if it's a difference of two squares or if it's not a difference of two squares. Okay, so just as you would with your normal homework, you should do this homework on a piece of paper, and then I want you to input your answers into the Google form and turn it into the classroom assignment. Hang on to your paper because we'll probably either go through them next virtual lesson, or if you have any questions to refer to, you can look back at those. So your homework's on page 494. It's 15 to 19 all and 21 to 29 all. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. Be happy to help you. Have a great night.